Good afternoon. I'm Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins. Today is Monday, August 11th, and this is our weekly briefing. You know what? We're going to start and talk through so many different things today. We're going to talk with our Commissioner of Health, Dr. Shalita Amla, about our air quality index and certainly the heat wave that we are going through right now. We're going to talk lead and our new lead registry that is a requirement of new state legislation with the Deputy Commissioner of Health, Chris Erickson, and the Department of Environmental Health, Leslie Libertor, is going to be here with us in a few moments. We're going to then hear some great information about things that are going on with our seniors, our program administration, Charmaine Anderson, and community work assistant, Kristen Garbarino. Are going to give us some information, and certainly we're going to hear from the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, who's going to tell us everything that's happening in the parks and when he's going to do the Zumba class up next. But we're going to start today with our Town of Pelham Supervisor, Dan McLaughlin. The Town of Pelham is 13,000 folks. It's the entryway into Westchester County, and we certainly have some great things that are going on in the Town of Pelham. So you have the village of Pelham, village of Pelham Manor, as well as the Town of Pelham, all right at that front door coming up on the Hutchinson Riverside, on the Bronx border, and Mount Vernon on one side, New Rochelle on the north side. And it's certainly a place that has so much interesting history that goes along with it and things that are happening in it. So we're going to start today and ask Supervisor Dan McLaughlin to come up and give us what's going on in the Town of Pelham.
Thank you, County Executive. Thank you. Okay, so the County Executive took care of my speech already, but that's okay. The one thing he did leave out is that we're 30 minutes to Grand Central. So there's a lot of people that pass our train station as they're going into work in Manhattan. We are the oldest town in Westchester County. We were founded when Thomas Pell signed a treaty in 1654 with the Siwanoy Indians. The purchase included not only the Town of Pelham, but all of the Bronx, including City Island, also included the land north of Pelham to the Rye border and along the Long Island Sound inland to the Bronx River. That's pretty big. Well, today we're only 2.2 miles. So we've kind of knocked that down. We have 13,000 residents. As County Executive said, we have two towns, the town of villages, the village of Pelham and the village of Pelham Manor. And each village has its own mayor, its own board, its own essential services. And most recently, the village of Pelham, I've lived in the town for 40 years. Most recently, the village of Pelham had their essential services, the fire department in one building, the police department actually in one of our buildings, and the administration in another building. And just this past June 1st, they opened up a 30,000 square foot municipal building, which now combines the fire department, the police department, and all village administrative employees. It's a terrific facility, and it was a public-private partnership. So the private partnership came in and said, we'll knock down your old firehouse, we'll knock down your old parking lot, and if you give us that to build apartments, we will build you the municipal building. And we are going to have 127 new apartments in the village of Pelham in approximately 1 year. So it was a fantastic partnership that they put together. Now let's talk about what we're responsible for. We're responsible for the recreation programs. Our recreation programs has over 40 programs geared for the youth, the adults, and the senior citizens. We are very proud of the exhaustive and robust programs offered by the Recreation Department. We are also responsible for the town library, the court, everyone's favorite, tax assessment, everyone's favorite, tax collection for the school, the county, the town, and the two villages. The newest part of our services is we are now the provider of EMS services for both villages. In line with our EMS responsibility, we recently purchased our first ambulance in the history of Pelham. We run the ambulance alongside the current fly car that serves the town residents 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We offer this service through a contract with the Westchester Volunteer Ambulance Corps, who supplies the EMT personnel for the ambulance and the flight car. Since we obtained the ambulance and began our new affiliation with Westchester beginning January 2024, our response time to EMS emergencies is under 5 minutes. In fact, we were just awarded the 224 Westchester EMS Agency of the Year. We're very, very proud of that. A couple other things that we're doing. One, which I'll compliment the county executive. A year ago, we came to the county executive and said we had a problem with the traffic going through Mount Vernon and going into our fields and the kids crossing over the Hutchinson River Parkway. And it was a disaster. And the county executive office was able to get us a study done, which is finishing this week actually, where we're going to rearrange the traffic and how the kids get into the field. And it's going to save a lot of time, but it's also going to save a lot of possible injuries, and we're real happy about that. The other thing on commutation is Pelham received a New York CERTA grant for $100,000. And this grant studied over the last 6 months how we can do a clean mobility transportation program in Pelham, whether it's by electric vehicles, whether it's by electric bikes, whatever it is. And that study is being finished next week, August 25th, and we'll figure out if we can find funding in order to implement that program in the town of Pelham, which would be wonderful. So I guess to end this is, a lot of people come to Pelham for its excellent schools. The Pelham Union Free District ranks as one of the top districts in New York State and offers a range of educational programs, including advanced placement courses, college-level classes. Pelham is home to 4 elementary schools, 2 located in each village, 1 middle school, and 1 high school. Overall, the town of Pelham is a desirable place to live for those seeking a quiet suburban community and excellent schools, substantial recreation opportunities. It has a friendly and community-centered vibe, a small town feeling with plenty to do. But remember, I'm a little biased. I've been there 40 years. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was the town supervisor from the town of Pelham. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Certainly, I'm talking about the villages of Pelham Manor, the village of Pelham, and the great work that they continue to do in cooperation with each other. The outreach that happened for the Hutchinson ball field and getting folks to that Hutchinson ball field, and it was a good opportunity to do that. So again, thank you to Supervisor Dan McLaughlin. Certainly shout out to our friend in the village of Pelham, Chance Mullen, Mayor Chance Mullen, doing a great job with his board of trustees to be able to do that public-private partnership in cooperation with the town, as the supervisor just mentioned. But again, all of the things that are happening from those things from our Complete Streets program. So another shout out for the planning department with the Complete Streets program, $13 million program that's available to all the municipalities to apply to make sure that there's better traffic control things going on. So again, we're looking forward to hearing some more things about what's going on in Pelham, getting some good history and fun facts. Pelham being the oldest town in Westchester County. The county itself was formulated in 1683, and the town of Pelham was incorporated in 1653. So again, there's so many pieces of history that go on, certainly with our Native Americans that were here. In the case of Pelham, it was from the Siwanoy family, Native American family, and again, going right up to where Rye is, down where City Island is, part of the Bronx. Other fun facts that most folks don't realize, that once upon a time it was all one big piece. So again, thank you to the town supervisor Dan McLaughlin for coming in and giving us that great information. We're going to switch gears really quickly and talk about things that are going on. We're going to ask our Commissioner of Health, Dr. Shalita Amla, who is here with us this afternoon to talk some things that are going on for protecting everyone in what is our second heat wave of the summer. That second heat wave of the summer has air quality alerts that go on as well. Last time Dr. Amla was here, we tried to make sure to mention that. But again, let's talk about that right now, and let's turn over to Dr. Shalita Amla.
Thank you. So yes, so the temperatures are back up this week into the 90s, and so we want everyone to know that, you know, you do need to take care of yourself if you're going to be outside. Try to get some shade, make sure that you stay well hydrated. This heat is especially dangerous for young children who may not, know that they need to drink enough, for pets. So if you have pets outside, you want to make sure that they have shade, that they have water. Elderly individuals who don't feel the heat the same way everybody else does, and again, may overheat or not drink enough. So if you have pets, make sure that, like I said, shade and water. Everyone else needs to hydrate. A reminder, we always try to remind everyone, if you've got small children, if you're putting them in a car seat in the back, make sure that you check when you lock your car that there's no other passengers left. Unfortunately, we do this all the time, but there's always unfortunate incidents that happen where children are left in hot cars, and sometimes they die. So we want to remind everyone that they need to take care of those issues. We are also going to be in the orange zone. We are in the orange zone for particulates, which means the particulate level is high. This is important for people who are in sensitive health groups, people who have certain medical conditions, especially respiratory conditions, asthma. So just be aware of that fact. Not a time when you want to go out jogging in the hot part of the day with that level of particulates. So we just want people to take care of themselves.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Amla, and certainly, again, that orange level, I'm just whipping out the phone really quickly just so everyone can see again that what we have continued to remind people, whether they are on Android devices or Apple devices, that they have an opportunity in their weather app usually to understand the air quality alert days that are happening. Today we're in that orange zone to make sure that you are checking and making sure that everyone is being taken care of. So today we do have that air quality alert that's going on in the nice orange colors that are happening. Dr. Amla also made sure to point out two different things. One, because of the high humidity, it's in the 90s, because this will be a heat wave week for us. We have extended the hours for our pools and beaches. We extended them an hour in addition, so people can be there till 7:30. Last entry for those parks is at 7 o'clock. Quick reminder for folks is that Playland is the only place that you don't need to be a Westchester resident to use the pool or the beach in Playland, but you certainly have a parking fee at Playland as well as all of our other facilities, all of the other beaches, and you need to have a Westchester Park Pass or prove your Westchester residency. But you should really get that Park Pass. Richard Whitney will let us remind us in that particular time to make sure to do that. In addition to that, Dr. Amla mentioned about avoiding strenuous activities this afternoon. If you can get those things done in early morning, for those of you that are joggers and runners, to do that earlier before the heat increases in the day. But more importantly, for all of our furry friends that are outside, Commissioner Susan Spear reminded us the last time she was here that you make sure that your pets are not walking on that hot asphalt. That's where they discharge their heat from. They don't have sweat glands, and they got a coat on all the time. So you have to remind yourselves that walk them in the grass if that's available to you, but make sure they're not just walking on that hot concrete, because when we walk around and we go, but they don't get a chance to do that. So again, thank you so much, Dr. Amla, for making sure to bring that information to us to let us know the things that are happening. Up next, we're going to have, and we're going to start from our Department of Health, talking about the lead registry. So we're going to have both Deputy Commissioner Chris Erickson and the Director of Environmental Health, Leslie Libertor, come up and give us some information more about this brand new lead registry registration that was from New York State. We've been doing this here in Westchester County for a while. Leslie.
Thank you for
Come on
having
in,
us.
Chris.
Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Libertor. I'm the Health Services Coordinator for Westchester County Department of Health's Childhood Lead Poisoning Prevention Program. We know that even low levels of lead exposure can affect a child's ability to learn and/or concentrate and cause behavior problems that may be lifelong. Our program has traditionally focused on reacting to children with elevated blood lead levels. When we're notified of a child with an elevated blood lead level of 5 or above, which was lowered from 15 in 2019, our care coordination team interviews the parent or guardian. We provide nutritional counseling and lead risk reduction activities to the family. We send the parent or guardian our lead prevention video that was made through Westchester County by email, and we mail hard copies of education to the parent or guardian. The care coordination team also offers a home visit and does a developmental assessment on the child. If the child needs a referral to early intervention, we make that referral. If there's no referral needed at that time, we refer to a program called Child Find that will do developmental monitoring on the child through the entirety of their lead elevation. We then make a referral to the environmental lead team. They will do an inspection to identify the source of lead, and we work with the family and the child's physician until the child meets discharge criteria, which is 2 lead levels under 5, 3 months apart, and a safe environment, meaning all lead hazards have been remediated. The CDC lowered the level of concern for blood lead levels from 5 to 3.5 in 2021. New York State still acts on 5, but in Westchester County, we do recognize that is a concern. So we do send the parents or guardians of children in that 3.5 to 4.9 level a letter explaining the detriments of lead and ways that they can lessen the risks. We do ask them to repeat the lead level again in 3 to 6 months. We offer a free lead inspection. If there's a second blood lead level in that 3.5 to 4.9 range, we will interview the parent or guardian as if the level is above 5. We do offer an inspection again. We email the lead video and we mail education to the home. Our team will do a lead risk assessment in any home in Westchester County if requested. More than 85% of the homes in Westchester County were built before 1978 when lead paint was banned from residential use. We are trying to add to our focus of concern by concentrating on prevention of lead poisoning, as well as homes where children with elevated blood lead levels reside. The new rental registry, which Chris Erickson will talk about, is a program that is focused on prevention and is modeled after the Rochester Rental Registry, which has seen a steady decline in blood lead levels over the past 10 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, County Executive, for having us here today to talk about these important programs. As was said, lead poisoning from paint used prior to 1980 and is in a condition conducive to lead poisoning continues to be a big problem across the country. In New York State, the majority of building stock was built before 1980, with estimates of over 60% of the actual building stock across the state in that condition or in that age group. So today we're here to talk about this new initiative that is being implemented in some communities across New York State that have historically had large populations of children with elevated blood lead levels. Since the late 1980s, inspections of buildings were only done after a child was determined to have an elevated blood lead level, like Leslie was just talking about. This new program is one of the most proactive in the country, with addressing childhood lead poisoning before a child actually gets poisoned from lead. And the Lead Rental Registry program will launch in 25 communities of concern with the highest number of childhood lead poisoning and older rental buildings or properties that are out there. It requires landlords to remove conditions that are conducive to lead poisoning in pre-1980 residential rental housing that has 2 or more rental units in there. As part of this program, New York State is developing a registry software program that will require building owners to meet these requirements and to enter their information into this database if they meet the requirements of that pre-1980 housing with having 2 or more units in it. It'll require them to have inspections done and conducted every 3 years so that they're actually keeping up on the condition that is in those buildings, and so it doesn't become in a condition that may be conducive to lead poisoning. This program will involve Department of Health conducting environmental assessments of units listed in the registry. So that'll be our Department of Health here in Westchester County, and looking at the paint condition and making sure that it's intact, and finally conducting dust wipe samples to confirm that there are no lead dust in the environment. If there is work that needs to be done on an apartment or a building through a grant with the New York State Homes and Community Renewal Program, owners may be eligible to have these repairs and renovations done by an EPA certified contractor with up to $40,000 per unit being made available. So this is a large amount of money that's also available to this program. In Westchester County, the communities affected by this law include Yonkers, New Rochelle, and Mount Vernon, with the zip codes of 10701, 10705, 10550, and 10801. From the information we've received from New York State, this would include over 30,000 units in Westchester County, so it's a huge number. New York State is completing these regulations, which are intended to be in effect in November, and although the final regulations have not been out or made public at this point, as the information gets out there, we're going to make sure that we are able to get this information out to the public as quick as we possibly can. So in the end, it's stay tuned for more information coming out on this. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Chris, for that important information on that lead registry. But just as important, that as Leslie Liberatore was explaining to us, who's our Director of Environmental Health, that there's so many options and available programs to help out, as Chris Erickson was talking about with the new lead registry. So it wasn't just creating a new a mandate for people to do certain work. It also provided dollars up to $40,000 per unit to do the remediation should it be necessary. The Department of Health will be able to work through that with different opportunities by making sure that you call. I'm sure that the number was on the screen. I think it's 813-5000 that will help us out on doing that from health.westchestergov.com. That was scary that I actually knew that. But the more important was that the facts are that those opportunities to help prevent lead poisoning or lead effects for all of the folks that are engaged, whether it's for our younger children or for our older family members as well. This program is very, very important to do. So again, take advantage of those programs. Again, remediation, conversation, testing, all that is free because it is so very important. It's so many things that are involved. So Leslie, Chris, thank you for bringing that information to us. And we're going to keep making sure that that work goes forward and having everyone be able to understand these opportunities to be able to have their voices heard from lead. And we want to thank our state legislators, Governor Kathy Hochul, for signing that legislation into effect. And certainly all the legislators, our state legislators and state delegation for advancing that. Again, it is so critically important to do, has so many effects from lead. And again, it's not just lead is in the paint because before pre-1976, that was the kind of paint that was utilized. It's really making sure that things are intact, making sure that there's not dust that's around, that dust testing, and making sure that the paint isn't chipping around. So again, up to $40,000 per unit. There's no one that should not be taking advantage of that particular opportunity from a grant perspective to do what we can to help protect our individuals and their health in Westchester County. So thanks again to our Department of Health for letting us know more about the lead registry. Up next, we're going to have Program Administrator Charmaine Anderson and our Community Work Assistant Kristen Garbarino come up and talk to us a little bit more about the upcoming events in the Department of Senior Programs and Services. I know that upcoming is definitely a senior dance party day on the 20th of August, and all the other great things that are happening in our Department of Senior Programs and Services, led by the incomparable May Carpenter. So, it's good seeing you.
Hello, I'm Charmaine Anderson with Westchester County's Designated Office of Aging. At Westchester County Department of Senior Programs and Services, we offer an array of programs to seniors. Today, we're highlighting our ISEP grant. ISEP, E-I-S-E-P, is an expanded in-home service for the elderly program. available to seniors who do not meet the Medicaid threshold, and a sliding scale fee. If you or someone you know could benefit from additional support, such as light laundry, light housekeeping, meal preparation, personal care, small errands, an emergency alert button, even social adult day services, please contact our case management line at 914-813-6442. We also have our community assistant worker, Kristen Garbarino, who will be speaking to you about our upcoming events.
Hi, good afternoon. Our department has 2 exciting upcoming events, the Livable Community Village Fair and our annual public hearing. The Livable Community Village Fair will be held on Tuesday, September 16th from 10 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Mount Pleasant Community Center in Valhalla. Please come to explore products, services, and resources from local vendors, which offer interactive activities, including art projects, health screenings, exercise, and fall prevention. Look ahead to fall on Friday, October 24th. Join us for our annual public hearing from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Westchester County Center. This hearing provides a venue for individuals to learn about and speak out on concerns that affect Westchester seniors and their families. For full 2025 calendar events, please visit us online at seniorcitizens.westchestergov.com or call us at 914-813-6300. Thank you.
Thank you, Charmaine, and thank you, Kristen, for letting us know the great things that are happening in the Department of Senior Programs and Services. And certainly, there's much more information that can be had. That can be had from the program services online, both online and by calling their department, because they do so much great things. But again, upcoming events, including our senior dance party, including the senior speak out, where legislative options and discussions happen all of the time. And then certainly our Senior Hall of Fame, which applications are going in right now for, to be able to continue to talk through that. Up next, we're going to have the Deputy County Executive, Richard Wishney, come up, let us know everything that's happening in our parks, recreation, and conservation system. We've just had beautiful days, no rain, and it's a beautiful day to be here in Westchester County.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. And the beautiful weather certainly has helped bring out all of our citizens to our park system. And County Executive wanted us to share with you some of the numbers that we experienced at the parks during the week of Monday, August 4th through Sunday, August 10th. And these are approximate numbers, but they certainly are wonderful to hear. At our pools and beaches for the week, we had 30,000 people visit. At the Playland Amusement Park, just from Thursday through Sunday, we had 24,000 people there. And our golf courses, we had 10,000 rounds of golf played. And on Friday evening at the Kensico Dam Plaza, we had the West Point Band, and we had some 600 people show up for that concert. And then, of course, thousands of additional visitors entered our parks throughout the system. And we're expecting, as we've heard today, we're in the beginning of another heat wave, and we're sure that our citizens will take advantage of the park system. Of course, as the county executive mentioned, the beaches and pools are going to be open an hour more till 7:30 every night, and we hope that people will go out, stay cool at the parks. And we do have just a few other items that we wanted to bring to your attention that will take place during this week. On Monday, August 11th, that's today, from 6:45 to 7:30 p.m., the Hydro Revolution Total Body Workout will take place at Tibbetts Brook Park. You can get a great workout in the pool with some weights. It's $15 per class. There's free parking. It's for ages 13 and up. And this program will continue again on August 18th, 25th, 27th, and September 1st. And then on Tuesday, August 12th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., Fridays and Tuesdays weekly, you can go at your own pace at the mall walk at the Westchester in White Plains. And that's an opportunity to be inside an air-conditioned facility and get your exercises in. And quite a few people take place and have used this program, and we hope that some of you will enjoy that time with them. And then on August 12th from 11 a.m. to 11:45 a.m., we have the Park and Read program at the Tibbetts-Brook Park. This is an enjoyable read-aloud program in both English and Spanish for children's ages 3 to 6. The event is free. Registration is certainly encouraged. Please show the registration confirmation at the parking booth when you enter. And in case of inclement weather, it'll be held in Pavilion 1. And then on Wednesday, August 13th, from 7 to 9 p.m., we're going to have a continuation of the Robinson Summer Concert Series at Glen Island Park. And this week, we're going to hear Motown medleys, today's R&B, pop, rock, and contemporary hits from Epic Soul, and the Tri-States area's premier party band. Please take advantage of that. And again, that's Wednesday, August 13th, from 7 to 9 at the Glen Island Park. And then on Thursday, August 14th, from 5 to 8 p.m., the Salsa Dance Party will be held at Glen Island Park. You can get 1 hour of instruction followed by 2 hours of lively dancing. The event is free, however, parking fees do apply. On Saturday, August 16th, from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., DJ Day. That's going to be at Wilson's Wave Pool in Mount Vernon. You can come for a swim and enjoy music at the pool. Participation is free. Admission and parking fees do apply. And of course, as the county executives mentioned in other activities, Westchester County residency is required, and that'll be held, of course, weather permitting. And then finally, on Saturday, August 16th, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to have a family garden party at Lasden Park. You can bring the whole family and join in the garden for a day of fun, games, crafts, hands-on activities, raffles, special garden tours, food trucks, and a mystery gift wheel. There is a $5 per child cost, ages 2 through 12. So come and enjoy our wonderful activities at our fabulous park system. Mr. County Executive.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy County Executive, for doing that and letting us know all the things that are going on in the nationally accredited award-winning park system. More importantly, that there's been much activity throughout the county park systems. Remember, we say this all the time, they're your parks. Make sure to take advantage of them. Over 18,000 acres of parks. Roads, bridges, trails, beaches, pools, and playland, all those things that continue to move forward, and they're available for you. Many times they're free. A lot of things are free activities, but there are some activities that you need to have additional payments for. Make sure you download that app on your Android or your Apple device, going to the App Store on Apple or to the Google Play Store on an Android device, and make sure to download the official Westchester Parks app. It has a nice green leaf on them as well, and you'll see some additional discounts. If you don't want to download the app, you can also have the email blast on the Park e-News that has weekly things in it. Most of the things that the Deputy County Executive pointed out with some additional opportunities for some discounts that can happen. We have coming up September 11th, the recognition of September 11th is coming up. So we have 2 different events. You'll start to see that information on our social media and invitations for that. The Interfaith Prayer Vigil, which happens the day before on September 10th at 5 p.m. at the Kensico Dam Plaza for the Rising and 9/11 First Responders at the 9/11 and First Responders Memorial, where we'll have our faith leaders from Christian, Jewish, Hindu, and Muslim communities will lead prayers, followed by the candle lighting and wreath laying at the steel beam from the Twin Towers, as well as the eternal light and eternal flame that we have there for all of the memorial that happens there. This vigil honors all Westchester residents who've lost their lives on 9/11 or from related illnesses. Again, on September 11th, our memorial service at the Rising at Kensico Dam Plaza will happen September 11th at 3 p.m. And that memorial service honors all Westchester County residents who died on 9/11 and from the 9/11 related illnesses. And we'll have remarks, music, and the reading of the names of all who were memorialized. If you or a family member who died on 9/11 or of a 9/11 related illness and would like to be involved at these two memorial events, please contact communications at Westchester County NY, that's one big word, westchestercountyny.gov. Once again, if you're a family member of someone who died on 9/11 or of a 9/11 related illness and would like to be involved, make sure that you contact communications at westchestercountyny.gov. Today we had a filled media briefing, starting with Pelham Town Supervisor Dan McLaughlin. Then we went right into speaking with Chris Erickson and Leslie Liberatore from Department of Health regarding the lead registry. We had Dr. Shalita Amla here to talk with us about the air quality index and certainly heat stroke-related and prevention of heat stroke-related activities, including making sure that you check your car to make sure there's no one sitting in the back. A lot of times things happen, people forget things, and I know many cars now actually have an alert to remind you to check the back seat to do that, because again, inside of a car in this kind of weather, it could get to over 100 degrees, 120 degrees very quickly, so we want to make sure to keep reminding people about that. We had our program administration, Charmaine Anderson, and community work assistant Kristen Garbarino come talk to us about everything happening at Playland. And certainly we wanted to continue to remind everyone that coming up on the 31st of August, we're going to have Vets Day at Playland, and that ceremony is going to be at 12:30 p.m., but it's Sunday, August 31st. The door is going to open at 10 a.m. for our veterans. Playland usually doesn't open until 11, and the ceremony will be at 12:30 p.m. And our veterans are going to be able to request up to 6 ride bracelets and 1 parking pass. And that requesting veteran must be a Westchester County resident, and all requests must be submitted prior to Friday, August 29th at 5 p.m. And just email your request to veteran@westchestercountyny.gov, veteran@westchestercountyny.gov, one big word. And those ticket requests will not be accepted the day of the event. So the veterans will be able to pick up their bracelets and passes by Friday, August 29th at the Westchester County Veteran Service Agency with Josh Gascione, our executive director over there, 10 County Center Road, the 2nd floor, Suite 204. So again, make sure that you register. And again, the latest that you can do that is Friday, August 29th at 5 p.m. And again, this is for saluting our veterans for Veterans Appreciation Day at Playland on August 31st. With that, I'm County Executive Ken Jenkins. Thank you so much for watching. Deputy County Executive Richard Wishney may be doing this also on Glen Island, may not, it depends. And we'll look to see you soon. Make sure you take care of your friends, families, and loved ones during this projected heat wave that we'll have going on till the 24th, and really take advantage of everything that is offered to you as a Westchester County resident in your park system and everything else that we have going on. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.